Good morning, YouTube. Jason here with Learn to Survive. I received an email this morning from one of my former students asking if he should invest in a gas mask or a chem suit. I said yes to the gas mask. Everybody should have one. They've got a great deal of uses, from biological, chemical, radioactive, even dust and sandstorms. These can help with. Although a respirator would be a better option and a cheaper option if you're just worried about dust and sand. Now, the chem suit, there's some finer nuances to that, whether you should have one or shouldn't, or whether I'd even recommend you get one. There are two types of chem suits on the market. There's your military activated charcoal chem suits, and there are your reusable rubber chem suits. With the military chem suits, they rely on activated charcoal. So 3-4 hours tops, you have to change out. And if you're still in an environment that you need a chem suit, put another one on. And those are about $150, $200 a piece. The rubberized ones that are fully self-contained are several $1,000s a piece, for one. And the other drawback to them is you need oxygen pumped into them. So most of them have a little carrying case with a small oxygen tank that's good for an hour, hour and a half before the tank has to be replaced. So that leads me to have to ask him, what kind of environment do you live in? Okay. He's prepping for every eventuality that he could run across, whether it's an accident, a natural disaster. Lord forbid we have an incident like we did years ago on September 11th. What proximity do you live in to any danger zones? Are you in a big city like Los Angeles, New York City, Chicago, Dallas? If so, invest in one. If not, if you're in rural Midwest like I am, I'm not going to run into anything that a gas mask or a respirator is not going to, for the most part, take care of. Now, there are some things that maybe a respirator won't work for, but a gas mask would, and vice versa. But I'm in an area where soap and water, bleach and water would be my best friend and be my go-to before a chem suit or anything else, because you have ground zero. That's where everything's the strongest. And as you expand out from ground zero, things start covering a wider and wider area and become less and less potent. Now, with a biological, sunlight and air have a very, very big detrimental effect on biologicals. So that is something that I'm definitely not worried about. Like I said, my go-to for where I live is definitely soap and water, bleach and water, and I know I'm going to be fine with just a gas mask. So look at your environment, look where you live, and what the possibilities are of needing this before you go and drop that kind of money. Because even with a military one, 150, 200 bucks a piece, they're activated charcoal. You're either going to find one that is way after its shelf life or pushing pretty close to the end of its shelf life, which they're good for 4 or 5 years after that anyway. Um, but the other drawback with them is 3 or 4 hours tops in them, you've got to change them out. So if you plan on not getting out of that environment and trying to ride it out, every 3 or 4 hours you're going to have to change your suit at 150 bucks, 200 bucks a suit. You do the math at what that's going to cost you to even have one around to get you through, enough around to get you through a day. Best bet, if you're going to get one and that's what you choose to do, get one and have plans that if something happens that you're out of any danger zone within 3 or 4 hours, so you can shed it and you don't have to worry about having multiples. And there is a way around this, and it is a lot cheaper. It is not perfect, but it does the job. And with the use of soap and water, bleach and water, if you need it, you're going to be absolutely fine because it's going to protect you when you're in the initial zone where the stuff's going to be the most potent, where you'd want a chem suit, as a gas mask and a rain slicker of some sort, whether it's more expensive, heavier one, or even some of the cheaper plastic ones, and a roll of duct tape and a pair of rubber gloves. You can put this on over your clothes, put your rubber gloves on, pull the sleeves, get the type with the uh, elastic in the sleeves over the rubber gloves, seal around it with duct tape, seal around where your uh, bottoms meet your boots. If you're not wearing boots, where it closes around your leg, seal it up with duct tape, put your gas mask on, put the hood on, pull the strings, tie it as tight as you can stand it, um, to keep as much of that making contact with your skin not covered by the gas mask, unless you've got, one that really covers the whole face. I mean, there's some that just cover, you know, this area. Some, like the U.S. ones, cover up to the ears, and that's going to serve you a lot better than a charcoal lined one, because you can wear that for more than 3 or 4 hours, and that gives you more time to get out of a zone. And then, before taking it off, uh, hose yourself off real well, take it off, and then clean yourself, soap and water, bleach and water, what have you. So there's a more economical way, if you really want something like that, that it can be done, and something that can be used, that's going to be more economical than spending a bunch of money on a single use item that's only good for 3 or 4 hours, that you might have to buy several of, depending on the situation, that's going to get you by and that's going to save your life. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.